How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation, time to get that imagination all cranked up, get into some creativity, and it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Joe Quesada. And if you're not familiar with his work, check right over here. He is a wonderful comic book artist and illustrator. He works mostly for Marvel and did a bunch of great runs with Spider-Man. But I really love his line work. And I think he's got a great sense of anatomy and posing and layout and composition and just all those wonderful traits that work so well with storytelling in comics. So definitely check out more of his stuff. I will throw a link in the description below, but check out that great line of action, great hand posing, just wonderful drawings. I really like this one. I thought this one was really cool with the reflection in there as well. And this was the one that really drove me towards really becoming a huge fan of this piece here. I just feel like it's a really great mix of almost a Mucha or a Leyendecker with comic book art and just the amount of detail and the amount of structure and the way that he forms human form as well. It's just a really unique blend of softs and sharps to get his muscle structure and his bones in there. That's really pretty, and it's he takes difficult concepts and makes them feel very simple. His weight and his anatomy, and his balance and the strength in his posing. It's all in a perspective of getting that head shape in there. It's just wonderful stuff. So like I said, definitely check out more stuff from him, but I did want to share a quote with you guys I was able to find from an interview that he did, and that was, learn your craft, learn your craft, learn your craft. And then, once you learn it, you have to start doing it. And I think that's a great quote. You know, it's really punches up the importance of learning the fundamentals and putting in those however many 10,000 hours it takes to really master it. And then you have to continue to do it, you know, and I think that's interesting too, because he does separate the learning from the doing, and I don't know if I would say they're two completely separate things, but I think there's a good reason to separate them. I know for myself, I usually try and do some studies each and every day that aren't really based in something that I want to necessarily like put out there as my creative voice, but rather just studying other people. And that's a lot of you know, what we kind of do here in the beginning is look at some people who've done some beautiful work and then go and, you know, play around and do some. And you gotta, you know, not have just be all studying or just all creating. I think you have to try to find that good balance there. But I love his importance about learning the craft. I think at least at the stage that I'm at, I think that's a great important thing to focus on and not worry too much about the minutia of style until you really learn the craft of it as well. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into some animation. This is the Panther rig. It's a free rig you can grab over at 3dfiggins.com. And if you're not familiar with what we'll be doing for the rest of the video, so I go off and I find a rig that I've never used before. It's a free resource for you guys to play around with as well. Give ourselves 48 frames, give or take a few, and kind of go from there. A little bit of over the shoulder, hang out with me while I animate, a little bit of talking through the process, but most of all, the main goal of doing these videos is to hopefully encourage you guys and inspire you to go off and create your own stuff using your own unique imagination and your own voice and your own creativity to put out something new into the world and share your gifts and your talents and abilities, and hopefully take another step in your journey towards mastering whatever medium it is that you're passionate about. So that being said, let's start playing around here. Today's been kind of a hectic day, so I think we'll just stick with a walk cycle here. And if I learn my lesson from the other rig that I use from 3D Figgins is that you can sometimes they're built so the geometry gets keyed as well rather than just the NURB curve. So I'm gonna keep that in mind while I'm working here. Now let's see what happens when we move that one versus that one. Yeah, that's what I thought. we'll play off of one side and then the other on this one rather than the front and back versus front and back. I think that'd be interesting, kind of differentiate from how we usually approach those. And let's dip the spine down here as well. Maybe do a little bit of rotate X here. We'll have to do it on the tail itself. And we'll grab the rest of the tail here and just try to create a more interesting starting pose. I think I'll take the last portions here and tweak those up a little bit. And then try and get a little bit of smoother line throughout here. Let's see. Do something like that. And let's look at the head. Dip the head down here. Rotate that up a little bit. What's this? Is this the mouth? Doesn't really do too much, so I'll leave it somewhat like that. Alright, so let's start off something kind of like this. Maybe we'll rotate the foot out a little bit. The front, just a teeny bit. Might be too much. Just a couple degrees here. Alright, so let's start off there. And let's make sure we just have our nerve curves, nerve surfaces, and polygons selected. But like I said, for this one, I'm going to start off a little bit different. I'm just going to grab the controllers rather than selecting everything. And we're going to key those guys. So we're just going to grab all of our controllers here. Once we select them all, and set that, I'll grab on top, and set that, and main kind of root controller here, set that one. Okay. And let's start building this guy. So, grab both of these, and we'll go, let's do 14 frames instead of 12. And we'll bring here, and 28, and what would that be, 42, and 56. Again. So let's see. And we'll definitely have to vary our timing a little bit from the front and back leg, but we'll stick with this for now, just as we're building this. Again, this is just kind of the foundation here. And we'll bring that back there. We'll set those ones, but we'll move it up to 14 here. Just kind of duplicate and vary between these two frames here. Let's see. Okay. And then let's move the feet back 7 frames. So window, animation editors, graph editor, pull those so they're back here. Let's see. I'm gonna go and switch it so these go that way. more in the middle here. Let's see. Alright, and we'll go start looking at this foot here. This would be where its main forward goes. This one we'd want to pull it back so it's almost hitting there. Bring it back somewhere like that. Bring that on. Let's go ahead and see that now. Let's see. It almost feels a little too far forward, so maybe we'll pull it there. There. Let's look at this one. Start off a little more towards the center. Let's see it now. Alright, now we gotta get our passing positions and everything in here, so let's work on that for right now. And let's make sure we lock in all of our main keys here. And then we'll go 21, we'll go and lift that up. And 49, we'll go and lift that up. And this one, lift it up here. 35, we'll lift that up there. Let's see. Alright, and let's look at the front feet here. And again, we want to go back and lock in all of our main keys here. And let's look. Lift that up. Lift that up. So let's see. Yeah, it's got some polish still to fit in there, but I think we can work with that somewhat. Let's see. I think we'll start with this one up. Up again. And then back to where we started, so let's see. Alright, now let's compare the up and down on both of these steps. So kind of get a good balance there. Make them a little bit lower. So let's see. Okay, and let's grab these guys. And let's go up here, down there, up here, down there, up here, down there, up here, down there. Let's see. And let's balance that out. So scale it back a little bit more. Even it out. And let's see how that feels. And this one feels like it's going a little too far forward. So let's compare where it is in world space versus the other leg. And it's pretty close, but I think we'll go a little bit further back. Oh, we'll do that with this one actually. Let's see. Yeah, maybe a little bit less on this one here as well. Okay. And let's look at this guy. Let's start off a little bit higher. We'll go down, up, and down, up, down. Down and back again. Let's see. Yeah, let's invert this one. So that way we can do the middle up and then down. Up, down, up again, down again, up again, and back again. Let's see. I'm gonna fix the, let's even that out a little bit more. Let's see here. Let's look at this guy. Let's go down a little bit further. Maybe a little less up and down the front here. Balance that out a little bit more. And let's look at the head. We'll go up here. And down here, up there, down here, up there, down, up, down, and back again. Alright, I'm going to clean that up a little bit more. Minimize it a bit more too. And let's see how we're doing here. The other thing is I think I can't have it stretched out so far. Starting to come together. Still has a lot of work to do, but we'll get there. And let's look here. We'll start off with the hips over that, or the chest over that way, then up that way, back again, over this way, and back again. And we'll scale that in a little bit more. Even it out so we're not favoring one side over the other. this side, that side, over the planted foot there, and then back again. Look at the middle section. Push it this way, that way, this way, that way, and back again. Alright, let's clean that up a little bit more. Let's see how we're doing here. Alright, and let's start doing some rotates here. So we'll do a little bit of rotate Z. So the weight's over the planted foot in the rotation as well, not just in the translation. And back again. Let's see. And look at back portion. Do that, that, and then back again. Starting to get a little better. Okay, and now let's do a little bit of rotate Y to favor the front planted foot. Oh, actually, I'm going to do that here. And back again to 0. Let's see. Alright, and let's look at our rotate Y's. Clean those up a little bit more. Balance them out. And our rotate Z's. Let's see how we're doing here. Let's look at the how much translate Y we do in between the steps. Feels like there's a variation there. So let's see. I'm gonna try to keep it a little more balanced and not be exact. We're getting a little bit of jerk in between there just because we're cycling there, so we'll have to be aware of that when we finish up here. Not quite yet. Then we'll do a little bit of rotate to favor that front planted foot. Back there, there, and back again. Let's see. And we'll clean that up a little bit more. Still feels a little jerky, so keep trying to polish and smoothen out some of those rough areas here. Kind of feel like we should do a little bit less in the middle, a little bit more in the front and the back end. here. Can we use this one or not? Doesn't really do too much. Let's see. Can we do it with translate? We can't lift it up there. And then flatten it out. And then we'll key that again at 28. Bring it back again to 42. Bring it back again to 44. Okay, and we'll push this stuff up a frame for the landing. Let's see it. Maybe a little bit less movement here. Maybe a little bit higher on the steps too. Seem like they're dragging a little bit now that we added the drag and the toe. So we'll lift it up a little bit higher. Let's make sure they're not really intersecting. Not really, because they're inner and outer, so that's fine. Just between the two legs, just making sure they're. Okay, let's look here. Start working on this foot now. And then we'll rotate it back there, up here, and flatten it out. And then back there, up here, back, and flatten it out. Okay, and then let's tweak that a little bit more. So we want to take that guy and move him back. This one, move it back. Key that down a little bit. And then make sure we loop back in to the beginning, the new one. Okay, so let's see. Right, and let's look at the toe. We'll lock the toe off here. Do a little bit of translate Y there. And zero out. Set it here. A little bit of translate Y there. Make sure we loop back into it. 2 frames and zero it out. Okay, so let's watch that foot now. Okay, feels like the translate Y might be a little bit too high on some of those, so we'll scale it back a little bit more. And let's look at the rotate X here. Bring that back down a little bit. Let's see how we're doing. Feels a little more like the other side now. I think we need to do a little more translate Y on this one here. So universally on both the up and the down. What if I inverted it? For some reason I just don't seem to like where it is now. Feels a little bit better, but I think we should accentuate it a little bit more. And let's do a little bit more up and down on the front end then. this version instead of the other one. A little less down and a little more up. Maybe a little less up and down here as well. Rotate Y or Z here as well. Let's see if that'll loosen that up a little more. And let's see if we can't do a little bit of rotate Z here as well. Go back to 0. Maybe we'll put it forward a little bit, so it'd be like 4. Let's see if that feels right here. We'll need another key there as well. So let's see how it feels. Just add a little bit of twist there. Let's add a little bit of rotation on the head. Up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, down, up, down, up, and back again. Okay, and let's clean that up a little bit more. I like the amount though, I feel like it's pretty, keep it loose and lively on the head. So let's see how we're doing. Let's do less on the tail here. Bounce that back a little bit, offset what we have on the hips a bit here so we don't intersect through the ground plane. And back again, let's see. Okay. Yeah, let's clean that up a little bit more on the tail. So let's see how we're doing. And then we'll grab the next 2 portions of the tail and we'll do those. Let's start at 4 here. So they'll go up a little bit. And they go down a little bit there. Up a little bit. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. And back a bit more. Let's see. Might be a little over the top, especially if we do some more in the rest of the tail, so let's scale it back a bit more. Let's see how we're doing now. Now let's look at the tip of the tail here. I'm going to go back to what we're doing on 7s. So go up, and down, up, down, up, down. We might have to loosen this up a little bit more, we'll see. Back again. looser. Quite so much up here. Let's see. All right, now let's start looking at the front paws here. So go at 4, and we'll rotate that up. Let's have it drag back a little bit here. Drag there. Go at 34, we'll lift it. Actually, let's go 35 and lift it up. We'll go 2 frames. Let's zero that out. Okay, so let's look at that now. Gotta make sure that we loop back in there so we don't get any skippage there. Okay, let's look at the other side. Have it drag back here, lift up there, flatten out, drag back here, lift it up here, flatten out. Let's compare the rotates between the two here. Make sure there's kind of a fair and balanced amount between both sides. Let's do a little bit of side to side on the head here. Start off here, go over there, back again, over. For some reason I did about 7 starting out instead of 14, so let's get rid of that one. Let's see if that loosens up the head a little bit more. Let's scale it back to about half of that, side to side. Let's do a little bit of sway on the tail here. Let's grab the middle portions. We'll break them up. Back again. Is that right? Feels off for some reason. Let's see. Start at 4 means we have to end with another key in here. And we'll do less of it. Let's bring that back down. Let's see if that feels better. this stuff for now, and we'll just do a little bit in the tip of the tail here. Do a little bit of rotate more here. There. Here. There. And back again. Base of the tail here, and go a little bit this way, that way, this way, that way, and back again. Let's look at the tip of it, because that's 2, and then, no, 9, and 23, that's 14 frames, 37, that's 14 frames, and 51. I guess I was just punching an extra frame there, because it's not on 7s, it's on 14s there. And then let's maybe amp up this portion a little bit more and tone down this one. Whip towards the end of the tail. And then tone down this guy. And the base as well. Lastly, or getting towards the more polishing thing. Oh, we could do some of the neck. That might be fun. Let's see if that'll work. Really drop down the neck there. Go up with it. And down with it. Up. Oh, let's take a couple steps back here. Make sure we're just doing the translate Y. Because we gotta be careful that we're not doing too much. I think we did a couple, not just the translate Y here. But we'll see if this will work. If not, we'll just delete it. Let's do about half of that. So this is our new extreme for every other key. Let's see. Yeah, I will delay that guy 1 frame. And then we do a little bit of rotate as well here. On every other one, just so there's no intersection there. Okay, let's go and save that, and then let's see if we can get a little bit of rotate here as well. Fluctuate between those two just to try and get some better shapes in there. Let's see. Might be a little too much. Try something like that to begin with. We'll do a little bit of rotate Y as well to it, just to tweak it a little bit. And over there, over here, over there, and back again. Let's see how that looks. Kind of loosens up the spine a little bit more. this guy. Let's start off with it a little bit. Oh, does the tail as well? Okay, we'll leave it alone there. Maybe with this one, start off a little bit rotated back here. So let's see. Maybe we'll move the rotation here. Throw another key there. So let's see. We'll flip the other way. Does it kind of clink together in the neck? Yeah, feels a little cooler. Maybe too much connection this way, not enough the other way. Might be too much rotate here. Take a couple steps back. Might just be too much. Just leave it alone. Just leave it like that. Let's see. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. And then we'll tilt the head, do a little bit of tilt in the head as well. And then on 21, I'll go the other way. 35 this way. 49 the other way. And back again. And then we'll tone that down a little bit more. Alright, let's see how we're looking overall. Okay, let's look at the base here. Let's push that forward a little bit more. Now what about this? What can we do here? Oh, it does work. I wonder why it wasn't working before. Just fluctuating between those two. Just try to loosen up that head even more if we can. It's not really going to do too much difference. But let's see. It does feel like it's a little too much up. Let's take it universally and just bring it back somewhere in the middle there. And we'll scale it back a little bit more here too. Alright, now I'm going to grab everything here, go to my last frame, look at my graph editor, grab everything and pull it off one frame so we don't have that 2-frame hold there. And that'll help the cycle so it doesn't pause for 2 frames. Alright, we can definitely spend another hour or so polishing this up, but I think we got something workable. So let's take a look back at where we started. We're looking at the beautiful work of Joe Quesada, and he said, learn your craft, learn your craft, learn your craft. And then once you learn it, you have to start doing it. So learn and then apply. Great advice, tough to do, but I hope you guys enjoyed this one. A little bit different, but still fun nonetheless. I think there's, just because of the polygonal style of this one, definitely has a little bit of jank in there, a little bit of crust. We could definitely spend, another hour or so polishing out, but I think we got something workable. So thanks again for all the likes and subscribes. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and taking another step in your journey towards mastering whatever medium it is that you're passionate about. But I think we'll wrap it up for today. So I love you guys lots, and we'll see you for some more animation tomorrow.